Thank you very much and giving me a chance to talk about our experience, local environmental issue in reality. And today, my topic is long-term monitoring and public activity successfully reduce the level of PFOA in Osaka area. That story looks very gentle, but a lot of political conflict how we experienced. And first of all, I should introduce briefly PFOA, PFOS. And this is PFOA, PFOA and PFOS. And those are protected by fluoride atom, therefore very, very hard to be degraded, very consistent, and you can find environment. They're very resistant to the degradation. So biodegradation is not expected for those chemical. And the problem is PFOA was the key ingredient Scotch gold. It's produced by 3M, and it was added to Annex B, Stockholm Convention PFOS in 2009, now well recognized one of the PFOS. And on the other hand, PFOA, very similar compound, and also known C8. This one is produced one of the Teflon. It has been used in the manufacture of the such prominent good in the Teflon. The PFOA has been manufactured since 1940, and 3M and many other companies. In Japan, Daikin and Asahi Galasu are two major industries. In 1999, U.S. Environmental Agency, after the deep investigation, for this reason, the U.S. EPA pressure, the primary American producer of PFOS, 3M, announced in May 2000 they phased out production PFOA, PFOS, and PFOS-related product by 2003. And then we started environmental monitoring from 2002. This is the first slide, and this was published in 2004, but we originally conducted this in 2001, but we experienced a lot of publication difficulty because 3M people gave a lot of comment, and finally we published the data in JOH, very local journal. However, now citation is more than 150. In the Kinki area, after the survey, we found the Kyoto River highly contaminated, the level 140 ppt, highest all over the world. And this is PFOS, and we checked totally 54 rivers all over Japan. And then we further investigated more detail in Kyoto River because we found a very high level around here. Therefore, we went up, and then we checked those monitoring sites. And as expected, PFOS level is very high in Osaka airport. But PFOA are different. In case 17 around here was very high. This is a municipal water waste disposal site. They treated normal household wastewater site. Daikin located here. Later we found Daikin sent their water without treatment to this site. Therefore, contamination spread all over the area. I River. So I River highly contaminated. It was subsiding. We found this one 2003. But people don't believe whether it's increasing or decreasing. So we check. We have the sample bank. The sample bank stock water and the food and the human serum from 1970s. We check, went back. Then historical data say from 1980, it's increasing in Kyoto male and Kyoto female. Akita, on the other hand, Akita and Miyagi doesn't change much. That indicates we have some specific local sources or source, emission source. So we want to solve this question. And then we found, at that time, we collect the blood sample in set area. That's level more than 30, one of the highest level all over the world, probably. 30 nanogram per liter. And after 2008, it decreased to 15 or something like that. Comparison 3 countries, at that 2008, Japan, PFOA level, the serum level is 4.8, 10, not so high, relatively comparable to Korea, but below in Vietnam. And we also compare the level in several locations in Japan, Sendai 2.2 and Osaka 14.2 is still at that time high, but decreasing from 2004. What happened in 2008? I'll tell the story. This is IDiver. So there are many turtle. And turtle is a very nice target to monitor a long-term exposure to PFOA or some POPs. So this is the IDiver. Looks very nice liver, and turtle here looks very peaceful. And many people enjoy fishing and running, so forth. We check the turtle serum level, and PFOA liver level is about IDiver D, and very high, and 56,000 nanogram per liter, and PFOA level in turtle is microgram per liter, 115.4. The reason why I selected turtle is very long life. We can easily identify the age. Most turtle live more than 10 years. And also they are very susceptible human endocrine disruptor. So we can easily determine vitellogenin. Vitellogenin is a hormone endocrine. So we both monitor, and the turtle show definitely high level in IDiver. Then the mass media, we reported in scientific journal and also conference. They pick up, some of Japanese newspaper media pick up a new article on PFOA. So they reported K Hanshin, that indicates totally 15 million people are exposed to high level to PFOA, high level of PFOA in Keihan area. They reported. And then we also reported the well water level. In Japan, we have many Buddhist temples. A Buddhist temple was very old. Therefore, they had old well. So we monitor the well water around Daikin. The level was very high. That indicates Daikin is emission source and without any doubt. Then after the mass media report, not only Sankei, but Asahi and big many conservative and more liberal newspaper reported. Then Osaka Prefecture Assembly paid attention to our report. Some group is very keen and very eager to know what is going on in Osaka drinking water with PFOA problem. Then the party invited us to give a lecture and teach in what is going on. And then Osaka Prefecture government, Prefecture Assembly member now recognize drinking water with the problem and brought the issue into local environmental problems, and they discussed it in the government, local government. Then 2008, Daikin issue. Daikin declared that it will phase out PFOA production 99% 2012 and 2015 completely. This is what they say. Daikin is one of the biggest company in producing air conditioner and many fluorochemical compounds. But we never violently or politically had any experience fighting with Daikin. We just give a social pleasure to them. We never name Daikin as a culprit. We just report circumstantial evidence. Some factory producing PFOA in this area, which contaminated drinking water, and then increase the level of PFOA or the legend. That's our messages. But Daikin, they feel social pressure, they declared. Then we took aftercare, so follow-up. So we made an air transfer model, and then we have very infrastructure is Kyoto University Specimen Bank. That's the food and the drinking water and the environmental samples and so forth. And we make a model and a prediction and compare the historical data. So we make validation for the model. Using this infrastructure and chemical measure methodology, we follow up the data. And this one is emission source reported publicly from Daikin. And then we put some factor to predict the emission PFOA from Daikin company. This is production, this report, based on the production report, that this is the report. We check, this is the level in 2004, and this is the level 2012. We monitor again in residential serum level of PFOA. It decreased significantly after 2008. So that indicates once Daikin decided to phase out, then they can easily reduce the production or emission of PFOA. And Kyoto and Nishinomiya all can be predicted by the model. So I think a comprehensive approach can decrease the level of PFOA. This is the current level and well water level in Dentsuji is 2005 is 57,000 nanogram per liter. Dentsuji 8,300, but now 1,000 and 7,000. And tap water level in 2005 is 40 nanogram per liter, but now 6.2. Surface water, eye river, are now about 19,000, but 46. And cell level also decreasing significantly, and 31.4 to 5.6. So we successfully introduced the precautionary measure in PFOA. And so my experience tells me the most important point is monitoring. But monitoring, often many people say whether it's emerging laboratory or it's only the transient time trend or not. To answer that question, we need sample bank, and we should show the historical trend. The second point is a local environmental issue link the environmental problem to the local environmental issue. That's a very important part. And then mass media mobilize and mobilization and local assembly will bring the issue to local political assembly. Then the company will decide, obviously, their spontaneous group activity, cooperative union, Daikin 3M, DuPont, Asahi Glass, etc., is very important, but corporate social responsibility is further more important. Therefore, we use full advantage of those aspects and then push the company to reduce or phase out the production PFOA. Those 3 steps are important to introduce a precautionary measure for new emerging chemical. Thank you for your attention.
Because of a limited time, we can accept just maybe 1 or 2 questions.
Hello. I would like to congratulate you because this is the most beautiful work I ever seen. That you use all the resources that is possible to find a solution. And what amazes me is that we don't have any regulatory value or criteria for PFOS or PFOA. So it's amazing. I just want to congratulate you, and I would love to listen to you again and see your papers because it's really very, very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Of course, I join my congratulations to Georgia. That's a really interesting case. And of course, I have many questions, but I will speak with you later. But the most interesting thing is where the drinking water comes from. Because if the it's really strange to see the peak in 2008, and then goes down. But then the long-term exposure, because the plant already existed there for a long time, and drinking water maybe doesn't come from the river, but upstream maybe?
Yeah, upstream, very close to. Yeah. This is river, but Kyoto is here.
Yeah. So then it's like it's a little bit difficult to connect how the peak immediately showed up also in the analysis and all the analysis you have done in water, in blood, in serum, etc. So,
yeah, I think. So first of all, we should clear first point. In the Kyoto River is a source of drinking water for all Kansai area, Kyoto-Osaka-Kobe. All drinking water are took from here, Osaka, Kyoto River area. Okay, that's one point. And another point is probably the drinking water is one of the source, but another source is the air.